This week's reading really kind of just opened my eyes to, um, some of the things that I guess you never really know that are going on in what we call America, this free country. It was crazy to me to have to look at the prestigious names like John Hopkins University and have to put them in the same category with these people who would be able to perform these unjust and cruel experiments on the black youth. With that, I referenced the study in which they lied to parents and told them that they would be testing blood for one thing or for lead or whatever it was, and then in reality they were testing for a certain type of chromosome, basically to signal out black children, black people in general, and that is, absurd to me, especially knowing that we all come from the same creator, and we all bleed the same blood and breathe the same air. And just going on to, reading the chapters, it's crazy that at one point in time there was even consideration that you didn't have to have someone's consent to their own bodies. And I think at one point, it said that, of course, it was against the law to not have somebody's consent to their own body because that's the only true right that every human has. But clearly, with these experiments, we see that that wasn't always true. And in fact, that was farthest from the truth. And these doctors would find ways to get around the consent to operate on these people and go straight to these cruel and gruesome experiments that could have left people scarred, dead, and they really had no regard for human life in general. And I think that's the saddest part about these readings, is that it almost seems as though it's a fake novel, because you can't even comprehend that they would do human beings like this. But when you really sit down and you think about the fact that this did happen to human beings, and this continued to happen to human beings, and they were almost helpless in thinking that they were doing research that could have helped and improved whatever condition they have, which we see it the most prevalent in the Henrietta Lacks story. We get to learn about just kind of her upbringing and how the Lacks name goes from slavery to slave to slave owner, and how the Lacks town and everything is not just white, it's not just black. It's a whole family of corruption, if you think about it. And then what ended up happening in her life was just what we learn about the things that her what's it called? I can't think of the word, but was tested for. And when she was dead, when they were trying to test her tissue and everything after she was dead, and how they kept her cells alive for as many years as they did after her death without telling the family, and ultimately profited off of the research that these cells brought back. And the family didn't know through leaked media that wasn't even supposed to happen. The name was never supposed to be released. And that just shows some of the corruption that has happened in this nation. And probably, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it continues to happen. You talk about a family, Henrietta Lacks kids end up going down this horrible road because of lack of leadership, lack of upbringing. Whatever the case is, you can blame whoever, but ultimately we know that the bottom line underlining thing about all of this is that wrong was done. It was corruption. It was manipulation. And this is something that no human being's family, nobody should go through. And I mean, this part of the reading was truly tragic, and I'm glad that the story came to light, and that we can now learn from this, learn about this. And my only question is, why isn't this taught in school, and why isn't this a book that we learn about in high school and middle school during Black History Month? And I mean, I think we need to start getting past the cliche Black History Month stories, the Martin Luther Kings, the Malcolm. We didn't even learn about Malcolm X, but the Martin Luther Kings, Harriet Tubman, stuff like that, and get to the real stories that people are affected by every day.